Hey YouTube land, Tycondrius there doing another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the Legend of Vox Machina Vex'ahila. This is a figure from the recent Amazon video or Amazon Prime show of the Legend of Vox Machina based on the Critical Role series. So if you're not familiar with Critical Role, I'm not too up to date on Critical Role. I know of it because a buddy of mine really watched nearly everything from it. I'm not sure if he's watched the Legend of Vox Machina anime, or I'm not sure if you consider it an anime or if it's just an Western style animation done in an anime style. I'm not sure if that's how it's produced. All I know is I watched the first season of the Legend of Vox Machina, which is pretty cool, and this character is called Vex'ahila, and the brief write-up on the back of the box gives opinionated and sassy Vex'ahila is one half of a twin duo, Vex and Vax. The expert tracker and archer shall cut down a hidden target from 200 yards, often backed up by her giant and adorable bear Trinket. A woman of action and a natural leader. Vex may at times be reckless, but she'll look fabulous doing it. And then that is just repeated in several languages on the back of the box. It's the Amazon original show, 22 moving parts. Then on the bottom you have the group of the characters. So I can't remember everyone's name off the top of my head, but there's Vex and Vax in the corner. You have Scanlan. I can't remember the healer's name. Then the other figure that they've released, which I haven't picked up, is Percy. Then you got Grog, and I can't remember the druid / character's name either. I know people will probably correct me in the comments below, but that is the animated style characters from the Critical Role. As far as I know, this is supposed to be the first campaign that they did. The series is based on the first campaign. I think there are several campaigns in. So on the side of the box, you just have the Critical Role logo. You have the Amazon Prime logo or Prime Video logo. You have her character name. It's produced by McFarlane Toys. And then on the opposite side, you have an animated. I'm pretty sure this is an animated style from the animation as opposed to the Critical Role. I'm sure there's comics based on these as well, so the comics may have come first before, well, I'm pretty sure the comics have come first before the animation. But today we're taking a look at the next bit of merchandise in the Vox Machina, the Critical Role series. This is action figures. So this is the action figure of Vex by McFarlane. She does come with a few accessories. So one of them, standard McFarlane's accessories, is this round base that comes with nearly every figure series that they've done so far, which is the Spawn, Mortal Kombat, Warhammer 40,000, the DC collectible or the DC multiverse stuff. So all of them come with these. The only difference is this has the Vox Machina logo on it. I think actually even the Avatar one had that, and it had the Avatar logo on it. So you have that. She also comes with two other accessories, well, technically three, two of which are loose, or not loose in the box, but are to the side in the box when you get her. So her bow, and she has a whole host of arrows, and she actually has a quiver. The quiver itself is a separate part, so you can remove it from the figure. It does make posing a little easier when you can remove it and put it to either side of her head, because she has this ponytail piece that does tend to hit off the scabbard or the quiver for her arrows, which is quite nice. Sculpt wise, it is very nicely done. Now, she does have the slight side eye thing that all the McFarlane figures have at the moment, but I don't think it's too bad on this figure because of the character portrayal in the series. It kind of, gives that sassy look that is described in the show, or on the back of the box and in the show, so it is kind of handy. She does stand neatly enough without her base. If I just pop her quiver, I keep going to call it a scabbard, but it's a quiver. she does stand quite nicely with that, and I do actually have my tape measure for a change. So if I just bring in the tape measure, you can see she stands just a little over 6.5-ish inches to the top of her hair. She's not quite full to 7 inches, because she is supposedly a female character and they're supposed to be smaller than the male characters for some reason. Some female characters will be taller, some won't. Just depends on the character's description. I'm assuming that was the character height for the figure on the when the characters was created by the Critical Role crowd. So I don't think she was designed to be quite tall, but she is what she is. And you can see the elven ears on her, on the side of her head. Now I can't remember if she's a full elf or a half elf. I have a feeling herself and Vax are supposed to be half elf. I don't think they're supposed to be full elves. I could be wrong. Again, I've only my only exposure to the Legend of Vox Machina was the first season of the animated show. I know my buddies watched like nearly all the actual the role-playing stuff from the Critical Role team, so I can't remember if she's supposed to be fully elf or just half elf. I am it's been a while. Well, I wouldn't say it's been a while since I watched this series. It's just there's so many series that, you know, things tend to get sidelined. But onto the articulation. So she has a good range of articulation on her left arm. Her right is a little bit hindered because you have this kind of pelt type thing. It's almost like a wolf pelt going on her right shoulder there. And it does hinder it, but her left is unhindered. You can get all the way around. She does have a bicep swivel, which is quite nicely hidden by the, what would you call this? It's not her glove, because her glove stops here. It's almost like a sleeve. So it's like she has a fingerless glove on, or pair of gloves on with kind of a sleeve type thing. Her tunic is quite nicely sculpted. Her hair is a separate piece to the head. So if you are a customizer and you wanted to go custom route and have some, you know, elven character with a different hairstyle, you could probably pry that off and replace it with a different hairstyle. But the face sculpt is quite nice. If I just bring it in close, as I said, you can see the eyes are off to the side a slight bit. It's not the worst side eye I've seen on some of the characters or some of the McFarlane figures, so there is that. As I said, this quiver is removable, so if you remove it, it doesn't get in the way of her head rotation. So she can rotate her head all the way around as long as you move the hair out of the way. The hair on the back is actually quite a gummy piece, which isn't too bad. It just plugs in. There is a kind of hole. It does look a little unsightly because you can see the skin color plastic in underneath it. So there is that. Her legs can do splits that much. She can kick forward. She doesn't have any thigh swivel. I thought they might have hidden a swivel up here by the boot, but she doesn't have that. She does have the double jointed knees. She does have the rocker ankles, which are quite nicely hidden. They are there, but they are kind of hidden with the sculpt, which is kind of nice. You can actually see that they actually went the extra mile and kind of sculpted the ball joint on the ankles to match that with the boots, which is a nice touch. The wrist ones are still there. They're not sculpted as far as I can see, but because of the way the glove is designed, it does go over where the ball joint is, but it doesn't really get in the way of the movement. So you have the double jointed elbows, so she gets a good range of movement. She only comes with the two hands. She doesn't come with a pair of swappable hands. She does have that hinge ball joint wrist that a lot of McFarlane figures have. So she can rotate the hinge, and then you can rotate the hand. So if you want the hand to go in and out, you just rotate the hinge to your desired position. Or if you want the hand to go up and down to go horizontal, you can just do that. So, and on her right hand, she has a kind of trigger finger grip hand. This is designed to hold on to the bow. It does hold the bow quite nicely. One of the things that they've done with this figure is they've actually given her a bowstring. I know the Green Arrow figure had that, but he actually had an arrow molded onto the bow, which is kind of a bit annoying. So what I did with mine is I actually cut the arrow piece off and put on my own string onto it. You can kind of get her in a firing position with the arrows. It is you can almost look like get her to almost look like she's doing a multi-shot with all the arrows in one go. It is a bit tricky to do it on camera, but it is possible to just kind of have her rest the arrows in her hand. If I can do it on screen, you can get it to have her arrows kind of resting on her hands and make it look like she's doing a mini shot or multi-shot with all the arrows that are in her quiver. Just pop the quiver back into her back. For waist articulation, she does have waist articulation. She does have a crunch, and it's actually quite hidden quite nicely with the belt thing that she has. So she does have a good range of movement in the belt. From what it looks like this tunic piece is a separate piece over the body sculpt. So the tunic is slightly slightly more rubbery plastic because it has this piece on it as well. It gives a good range of movement. Below the tunic as well, or the rest of the tunic from below the belt, is actually quite a soft rubbery plastic too, so there is that. As again, you can see those standard kind of McFarlane hip joints that he has, and unfortunately there's not much in the way of the thigh rotation. And she does have 2 peg holes. She has that ankle articulation, and she has the toe articulation as well. Not sure if she needed it. It does look really kind of weird on those boots, the way they're designed. They're so slim with her toe kind of bending up like that. It does look a bit weird. But for other kind of characters of a kind of similar nature, so if I just pop her arrows back into her quiver, the arrows do fit in her quiver quite nicely. Unfortunately, she doesn't come with a single arrow. It would have been nice if they had included like a single arrow so you could do like a single shot pose, but she is quite poseable. So for similar characters, we'll bring in Siri. Is this Siri? Siri? I think that's the right name. I haven't done a review of her yet. It's from Witcher 3. So she does stand roughly around the same height. And we'll bring in good old Geralt of Rivia. You can see he stands a good bit over her. These are based on the video game versions, not the Netflix adaptations. I do have the Netflix versions hopefully on the way at some point, but I haven't got around to even reviewing these versions. I think I reviewed one of the Witcher figures. I don't think it was this one. It was the first one they did. I think this is the second one with the kind of more armor or chainmail armor, whereas the other one had more leather armor. The costume names I'm not too familiar with, because I haven't played Witcher 3. I just know they're designed off the character's appearance in that, as opposed to the books or the TV series. So overall, she's a really good figure. I do recommend picking her up. I didn't pick up Percy at the time because I hadn't watched the series and I didn't like the design for Percy, but after watching the series, he's actually a really cool character, so I may go back and get him at some point, and hopefully McFarlane will get around to doing the whole cast. I am looking forward to seeing if they do a grog figure, even with like some sort of tankard of ale or something that comes with him, if they can do that, or some sort of kind of almost iconic grog style accessory, which would be cool. He should have his big axe. I think he has like a battle axe for his main weapon. Yeah, he has like a big giant double-sided axe for his main weapon, but hopefully he'll come with some other accessory as well. He might even be a mega figure because of his bulk and size, but overall the line is kind of starting off on a high note with Vex and Percy. So I do recommend picking this figure up. I got mine through Amazon, and I think it is available through other e-tailers like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth and all the kind of usual places. So I hope you found this video interesting, entertaining and enjoyable, and please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Cheers guys.